Well, I really did try to get you a home tour, but we're having technical difficulties, so that video is going to wait. In the meantime, I can tell you about the new part-time job that I got because you may or may not remember that things got really fucking stressful in my last part-time job when I got hired to work at the construction company, and you know, they're dealing with their own shit. I was pulled in way too many directions and the communication was just fucking shit, let's just say that. And I ended up having a mental breakdown because my boundaries were not being respected, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I quit that job, and in the same day, I went and dropped off my resume and cover letter at a place that I knew was hiring that I thought I would be a pretty great candidate at, and 3 interviews later and a few days later, I'm a part-time employee at Lovers. Lovers is a sexual wellness boutique that has several stores across the U.S. I believe it was started in the Pacific Northwest, and it has taken over a few other companies as well. You may have heard of Crystals, I know, is also a company like that. And I'm just really excited. I'm excited to really be stepping more into a space of inclusive and accessible wellness. It just seems like a natural tier into what I already do. And if I'm being completely honest, sex education is something that I've always been extremely passionate about ever since I was younger. I remember being so livid with the things that we learned and that wasn't correct and how much censorship there was when I was a teenager in the early 2000s. And I was like, it would be so cool to become a sex education teacher. And then I was kind of turned off by it because I was like, I don't want to have to follow the advice of churches and government, and like, you know, I think people deserve to know the truth. Well, hey, we're living in a world now where you can find free, inclusive, accessible sex education on the internet for the most part. Now we'll have to see if this video gets censored or taken down or whatnot because I'm just even mentioning sex. More than ever, it's coming up now that censorship is alive and well. I mean, it always has been, but especially it's coming to light just how much we are being monitored in the online space and how there are constantly computers tracking if you're using music that you shouldn't, if you're saying words that you shouldn't, and all of you know, all of these shoulds and shouldn'ts. I mean, the music is obviously a legalities thing to protect the artist, which is great, but there's just so much censorship going on in all of these other capacities that we have no idea about. And so back to my job. I feel I'm just really excited to be able to be an educator in this realm. And with that, I do feel like I want to talk about what I'm learning more. I think that I have a valuable space as a 30-year-old woman, queer identifying woman I'm also learning so many things. Like, did you know that there are 3 main types of lube? 4, maybe, if you have been using oil, which is controversial. And do you know what kinds of types they are? Do you know what's good for skin on skin or using with toys? And like, there's just so much stuff that I didn't know. And now I'm the person that gets to educate others, and I want to definitely continue educating this community because I'm on this path of helping you discover who you are and to be true to yourself, and what goes hand in hand with knowing how to communicate, honoring yourself, being a compassionate, kind, and communicative person. Like, that all goes directly in hand with having a satisfied sexual experience. Hello! So that's just really exciting. That is the part-time job, and I'm more than happy to take questions. So feel free to like this, subscribe, comment if you want to help my business out, if you want to support me. And anytime you leave comments, I'm taking note. I'm making notes so that I can come back to it at another time. I'm really striving to get my systems in place so that it doesn't take like months for me to finally get back to your questions. But I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to be in this space and to be learning together.